Conservative new media viewers and JLin fans around the world, what is up? It is me, PFV, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Woo! Yeah! JLin has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. JLin, this comes according to ESPN, and the story broke at about 2:55 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, July 11th, 2014 on the East Coast of the United States. So that means the story broke at about 2:55 a.m. Saturday, July 12th in Taipei, Taiwan time, I believe, if it's 12 hours ahead, and I think that it is. Why am I happy? I'm happy the same reason all of you are happy. JLin finally is moving on from my Houston Rockets. And that's a very good thing. Houston made the move because they are clearing out cap space to sign Chris Bosh. In an attempt to sign Chris Bosh, that will probably happen. Look, let's talk about this from a variety of angles. The first of them is this. In terms of cities or areas for Jeremy to play in, LA is probably, the city itself is probably maybe the third best area in the country, behind only New York City, which has a massive Asian population, probably the biggest in the country, substantially the largest, actually. The second biggest city or metro area, I think, with the Asian population would be San Francisco, and then Los Angeles. But apparently, I just saw this, the county of Los Angeles County, apparently has the largest Asian population in the country, in the United States, 4.8 million people. And that doesn't even count Orange County, which has a very heavy Asian population, or it has a large number of people of Asian background. And supposedly the growth rate of the Asian demographic in Southern California is very high. It's growing rapidly. Now, Jeremy doesn't need to go to a place that has a heavy Asian population. However, as we've seen in certain circumstances, Jeremy's not always embraced by the community. And so there's probably, if he's going to face that situation, if he's going to have to deal with doubters and haters and all this stuff, it probably doesn't hurt for him to go to a very cosmopolitan situation where there is perhaps a heavier concentration of the population that might identify more with him, if you will. Again, he doesn't need that, but it's probably a good thing for him as he kind of tries to remake himself over the last couple of years of turmoil or doubt in Houston. So I just want to say that this is probably, if you had to pick a team for him, probably go with the Knicks first, maybe the Brooklyn Nets, then maybe the Warriors, and then probably the Lakers or the Clippers. So I don't know if this is the absolute best situation for him, all things considered, but it's quite good, in my opinion. A lot of people I know are disappointed that Jeremy's going to the Lakers because they don't like the Lakers. And I can understand that. I can understand that perspective. However, the Lakers are still the Lakers. The Lakers have just a gigantic fan base around the world. And they have a huge fan base in Asian parts of the world, like the Philippines, like in China. So this makes sense. It makes sense from a marketing perspective for the Lakers, and it will help Jeremy. And being in LA, that's where Manny Pacquiao trains before his fights in the U.S. He trains in the Wild Card Gym in Los Angeles, so that's nice. Those guys can maybe link up a little bit when Manny's training there. If he's training there, I'm sure he'll have some more fights in the U.S. as well as overseas, like in Macau. Now let's talk about it. So this is I'm not currently the biggest Lakers fan in the world, but this is good for Jeremy. And the bottom line is, what is good for Jeremy? This is a much better situation, in my opinion, than him being in Houston. And again, I'm a Houston fan, but we all know what's going on there, or our feelings about what's going on. So this is good for Jeremy. Regardless of what I feel about it or if I like the Lakers or not, I'm happy for Jeremy. He gets another chance. He gets to move on. And if he doesn't like it, or for whatever reason, then he can move on again after the 2014-2015 season when he will be a free agent. So it probably couldn't be any worse than being in Houston again, in my opinion. So that is it. So this is a very good day. It's a very good day for Jeremy Lin. Now let's talk about it from a basketball perspective. Will Jeremy start? The Lakers currently have 2 point guards that may or may not be ahead of Jeremy Lin on the Lakers depth chart, depending on what the incoming coach wants. The Lakers do not have a coach right now as I make this video. But if I had to guess who the next coach is going to be, my guess is that it will be Byron Scott, the former Lakers star and former NBA head coach for several teams, including the then New Jersey Nets and the Cleveland Cavaliers. A lot of this is going to come down to what Byron Scott and the organization wants. Of course, the number one guy we would imagine would be Steve Nash if he's healthy. Obviously, Steve Nash and Jeremy Lin are friends. And for Jeremy to have the opportunity to learn under Steve Nash is immense. Steve can show him all his drills. I'm sure that he showed him his drills before. But just if Steve can maintain decent health in this upcoming season, Jeremy can learn a lot from him. And that's a fantastic opportunity for Jeremy. And that's probably a substantial portion of why Jeremy would want to go to the Lakers. And maybe his agents steered him towards the Lakers because of Steve Nash. Steve Nash is 40 years old right now, and he has had significant health issues in the last couple of years. So he might not start. He might not even want to start. His body might not be able to start at this point in his career. So we'll see. Well, there's that consideration. Or maybe he starts and plays few minutes. But I can tell you this, Jeremy won't have an issue playing behind Steve Nash, which might not have been the case with him playing behind Patrick Beverley. Just in terms of Steve Nash is Steve Nash. You accept that Steve Nash is the starter if you play behind him. He's earned that. He's a 2-time MVP. You can't argue with that. The other point guard that the Lakers have, who conceivably could start ahead of Jeremy Lin, is Kendall Marshall. Kendall Marshall was someone that was targeted by Mike D'Antoni, who is, of course, no longer the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, which is unfortunate for Jeremy. Kendall Marshall he's really improved his three-point shooting. He couldn't shoot at all. His shot does not look good. Like the form, the technique doesn't look good, but he shot well from three-point range last year. Quite well, if I remember correctly. I have to look it up, but I want to say he was around 40%. He shot well. He really worked on it, and it showed. Marshall is like Jeremy in that he's an excellent passer. He's probably even a better pure passer than Jeremy is in some respects. But the knock on Marshall, as has been the knock on Jeremy, is he's not a good defender. He's not quick with lateral movement, moving side to side to stay in front of defenders. Jeremy, in my opinion, is a better defender than Kendall Marshall is, and probably he'll always be that in terms of steals and this type of thing. If you asked my opinion, I would probably start Jeremy ahead of Kendall Marshall. Although I can understand starting Kendall Marshall. Kendall Marshall is a guy that will get you a ton of assists, a ton of them. He's almost always good for a large number of assists if he's getting steady minutes. Jeremy's a better scorer. Kendall might be a better three-point shooter. As good as Jeremy was at the start of last year, just overall percentage, Kendall might be better, which nobody would have believed that going into last season, just given Kendall's shot and how it looks and everything. But he's put a lot of work in. So those are the 3-point guards that are in the mix right now. As of when I make this video, as of when Jeremy got traded for the Lakers. The Lakers, over this last offseason, they lost 2 point guards. Jordan Farmar just signed with the Los Angeles Clippers. He was on their team last year and was playing a significant role. And Steve Blake. Steve Blake, who was dealt by the Lakers to the Warriors last year. Steve Blake now has just signed with the Portland Trailblazers. So as of today, there are 3 main point guards that could start for the Lakers, conceivably. Nash, Marshall, Lin. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the Lakers' plan is. My guess is Jeremy's going to get a very good chance to start. You're not bringing in Jeremy Lin for him to just sit the bench. I don't think the Lakers would do that. I don't think that's their intention. In 2010, which was before Jeremy's first year in the league, I believe. I think his first year in the league was 2010, 2011. 12, yeah, I believe that's correct. Jeremy played on the summer league team of the Dallas Mavericks. After that summer league, the Lakers were one of the few teams that made Jeremy an offer to come and join their team. What that means is the Lakers have had their eye on Jeremy Lin for several years now. They've been aware of him as a potential addition to their team since the beginning. That's great. That's a very good sign for Jeremy. That means they've got some faith in him. They've got some confidence in him. And now they get a chance to have him as opposed to the Rockets or whatever. So, again, these are good signs for Jeremy. Even if Steve Nash starts this year, I don't think he's going to be playing a lot of minutes. He just, 40 years old, you can't play a lot of minutes. It's not going to work for almost any 40-year-old in the NBA. So what that means is, regardless of whether he starts or not, Jeremy is going to have a good chance to play a lot of minutes this year. Probably is going to have to beat out Kendall Marshall in order to get those minutes. So that would seem to be his main competition going into this upcoming season. And I like Kendall Marshall. I like him quite a bit, actually. I have nothing against him. Same way I felt with Patrick Beverley with the Rockets. It's not what happened with Jeremy in Houston wasn't Patrick Beverley's fault. It wasn't. That was other issues going on, which we all know pretty well. I think Jeremy can learn a lot from both obviously from Nash, but also from Kendall Marshall. As I said, Kendall Marshall has real ability. Real ability. It's not an accident that Mike D'Antoni wanted him. He is the type of player who fits Mike D'Antoni's system. He absolutely can distribute the ball, and he has a very, very rare level of court awareness and court vision and passing ability. Being around somebody like that is going to help Jeremy quite a bit. That's good, and that's not necessarily what Jeremy's been around. Kendall Marshall wants to pass the ball. He is a pass-first point guard. He wants to pass more than he wants to shoot, and he's exceptional at passing. So that's great. That's great. JLin's more in the mode of a Nash, which is he wants to pass, but he can also score, and score well when he wants to score. Kendall is not quite the scorer that either Nash or Lin is. So that's what the outlook is in terms of the point guard position for the Lakers. Now, we've talked before, and I have mentioned this in videos before, that I wasn't sure that the Lakers would be the best fit for Jeremy because of Kobe. Kobe, throughout his career, has never really played with point guards that dominate the ball. And so Kobe tends to run the offense more. Kobe likes to have the ball in his hand as opposed to the point guard's hand. I'm not saying it's never been the opposite of that, but he likes that. And so, okay, is that going to work for Jeremy? Are we going to have another situation where it's basically James Harden again, and Jeremy's out on the three-point line spotting up like maybe Derek Fisher did in his days playing with the Lakers? I don't know. I think Kobe's going to play a different way, though, this year. Kobe's coming into his 19th season. He's coming off two devastating, one particularly devastating leg injury. I think Kobe is going to play closer to the basket now on offense, meaning in the low post. And that means Kobe's probably going to handle the ball a little bit less and just want the ball to be given to him down in the low post. If that's the case, then that will be okay for Jeremy. Now, Kobe's probably going to want a lot of the offense to go through him. So in that sense, it might be a hardened situation type of thing, because even if Jeremy's running the point and running the offense, Kobe's still going to demand the ball a lot, and Jeremy's going to have to deal with it. And like I said, if that doesn't work, Jeremy only have to deal with it for 1 year. On the other hand, Kobe's not going to be around forever. Kobe's probably going to retire in a maximum of 3 years, in my opinion. His current deal is for 2 years, this season and next season, but my guess is he might play another year after that. He might not, but he might. But as Kobe gets older and older, he's going to become less and less of the focus of the offense. It's just naturally going to happen. So overall, I think this is outstanding for Jeremy. It's a better city, in my opinion, in terms of fan base and population, demographics, etc. for Jeremy from that respect than Houston was. It's a great franchise. It's the Lakers. That's all you have to say. He's going to an established team with a gigantic fan base. That's going to help him. He's going to get attention. He's going to get noticed. He's going to have more opportunities for marketing, this type of thing. And depending on what happens, Jeremy could be the starter or be the starter fairly quickly, and he could stay with the Lakers if he wants for the remainder of his career. And so he could be there even as Kobe goes away and retires. Jeremy could be the main guy or one of the main guys on the Lakers or one of the faces of the Lakers in a couple of years. That's definitely possible. So you could have Jeremy Lin being one of the faces of the Lakers as a starting point guard with the premier franchise in one of the premier franchises in all of sports. This could work out great. It really could. So like I said, if you don't like the Lakers or whatever, I understand that. But for Jeremy, this could be perfect. Now, there's going to be a lot of resistance from a number of Lakers fans. I've already seen it on Twitter, and you guys have probably seen it too. They don't believe in him. They doubt him. They don't like him. Blah, 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 blah. Look, the Lakers are coming off their worst season the worst season ever in Los Angeles. If Jeremy comes in and starts helping them, believe me, the fans will turn for Jeremy quickly because they need something to cheer for. So if Jeremy goes out and does his thing, and Byron Scott, if he is a coach, and the organization lets Jeremy do his deal, then the fans will turn to Jeremy and away from what happened in Houston. So don't let the negativity by a number of Lakers fans get you down. That can turn in not too much time, in my opinion. I know a lot of Lakers fans aren't real big on Kendall Marshall, so he's in an okay situation in terms of that, and most Lakers fans know Nash is just about done. So they need somebody at point, and Jeremy could be the guy. Kobe likes Jeremy. Now, you guys remember in 2012, I think it was, before the Knicks played the Lakers, Kobe did the who's Jeremy Lin or what's the deal or whatever the heck it was. But then after that, there's the pictures of Kobe kind of hugging Jeremy Lin outside of the arena, I think, beside like a sedan, like an SUV. Kobe's huge in Asia, as we know, especially, I think, in China and like the Philippines. Well, so is Jeremy. Kobe's not dumb. He's not going to out and out diss Jeremy because that will probably hurt his marketing in Asia. So even if Kobe isn't happy or isn't super psyched about this move personally, and I have no idea. Nobody's asked Kobe yet what he thinks. I mean, it's just happened. He's not likely to grump about it, to whine about it, even in the media. Even if he thinks it, he's probably not going to say it, which is better than some of what we saw in Houston. So I think Kobe likes Jeremy. I think he respects Jeremy and respects what Jeremy did, particularly in New York. And I honestly think that Kobe's going to get along well with Jeremy there. There might be some issues on the court because Kobe's a very demanding teammate and Kobe wants to shoot. He wants the ball. But I think that what Jeremy has gone through in Houston, particularly with James Harden, will prepare him well for Kobe. And like I said, I think Kobe will treat Jeremy better for a number of reasons. It's in his best interest to treat him well, at least publicly. And so, with Nash there to welcome Jeremy, with Kobe likely to embrace Jeremy, with the Lakers already having a history of interest in Jeremy, with the fan base, with the more coastal location as opposed to kind of the middle of the country, this is a very good situation for Jeremy Lin. And again, the Lakers are probably not going to be that good next year, in my opinion, at least what their roster looks like right now. Jeremy, this could be a very good situation from him. He could come into a scenario where the fan base might not expect making the playoffs. So they want They want things to go well. So if Jeremy can come out and run the team and do what he did during Linsanity in terms of the whole team's involved, playing fan-friendly type of style, that could just be the beginning of a long Lakers career for Jeremy Lin. So that is about it for now. Your comments below, thumbs up, thumbs down. Of course, well, I'll get to that in a second. Look, I'm excited here. Very excited. Jeremy is free now. He's free. We don't know, again, we don't know if he's going to start, we don't, whatever, but he's free of what's gone on for the last 2 years. And it's been nonsense. And you just, I mean, there's no way to minimize that. Like I said, woo-hoo! J-Lin's free. That's it, man. It's a new beginning for him. I'm sure he and his team and his agents are very excited. They probably steered Houston in this direction. I can tell you this for sure. In terms of fan bases and cities, this is a better situation for Jeremy than either Milwaukee or Philadelphia, in my opinion. I don't know about teams. I don't know how those teams are going to be, although Philly's probably not going to be very good. Milwaukee, I don't know. I'd have to look at the roster a little more closely, compare them with the Lakers. But overall, this is a better situation for Jeremy, in my opinion. The fit is much better than what it would have been in either of those two cities. For Jeremy and his profile and his status as an icon, this is a very, very good move. I'm pumped. I can't wait. I'm just a little bit out of it because the last several days I've been staying up almost, very, very little sleep watching this whole LeBron thing, and then I fall asleep for a couple hours and, hey, LeBron's going back to Cleveland. Great. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it is. In the sports business, you never know when things are going to happen. But Jeremy's free. No more McHale. No more Morey. No more Harden. No more anything. Yeah, Kobe. Okay. That's a different thing. It's a different deal. There's hope. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Harden might be in the league for another 12 years. Kobe's not going to be in the league for more than 3 more years, in my opinion. 4 at the absolute maximum. But my guess is 2 or 3, and then that's it. So for Jeremy, he's free, man. He's free. You guys are pumped up. I'm pumped up. And it's a new lease on life. Hopefully we are heading to a situation that looks a lot more like what we saw in New York than what happened in Houston. As far as I know, Jeremy's healthy. I know he's in China right now, I believe. I'm sure he's working on his game. I'm sure he's working on his body. I know he's going to be thrilled with this news. I know he's going to be thrilled with this news. He's going back to California. He's got a lot of contacts, from what I understand, in Southern California. This is fantastic. This is great, great, great news. So a new day has dawned in Lin fandom life. There is new hope. There is new optimism. The sun is shining bright after the clouds in Houston, and that is fantastic. Woo! Okay, see you guys in the comments. I'm going to do a video about LeBron, and we'll just take it from there. This is great, great, great news. Hope you're all having an excellent day or excellent night, wherever you are around the world. If you don't already know about the Conservative New Media Facebook group, come and join us. The information for the group will be in the video description below the video player. We have over 3,000 members there and growing all the time. We'd love to have you come and be a part of this. Great job by Jeremy's team. Great job by Jeremy's agents. And great job by the Lakers to step up and seize the opportunity. We all thought Jeremy was going to either Milwaukee the Philadelphia. And the Lakers came in and they swooped him up. That's not coincidence. They were watching this, and obviously they wanted him. And they're going to take grief because of the contract this year. Jeremy's contract's so big, blah, 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 blah. Just shows you the Lakers wanted him. Mitch Kupchak, the general manager of the Lakers, has done a lot of good moves before. Hopefully this move's going to pay off as well. And it's definitely going to pay off for Jeremy because he got his walking papers from Houston. So it's over. The Jeremy in Houston fiasco is finally freaking over, and we all love that. Take care. Talk to you soon.